Hello friends, today I'm going to talk to you about naming ionic compounds containing a polyatomic ion. Okay, it is important to know that some ionic compounds of course contain ions that are themselves made up of a group of atoms that has an overall charge. Okay, of course these kind of ions that comprises of more than one atom are called polyatomic ions, and most polyatomic ions are known as oxyanions. We're talking about anions that contain oxygen. Okay, so most of the polyatomic ions we experience in chemistry always contains what? Oxygen. Okay, nice. Examples, some common examples of some of these polyatomic ions are given in this table. You see the chromate ion, you see the chlorite, the chlorate, and the perchlorate. Okay, if you look at these three, you discover the difference in the ions is the number of oxygen they contain. Whenever you hear the ite, okay, whenever you hear about the oxyanion that has the ending syllable ite, okay, and ate, just know that the one that is ite has a lesser number of oxygen atoms, or has lesser atomicity in the oxygen component of it. Okay, so you see that the chlorate ion has 3 atoms of oxygen, while the chlorite has a lesser number, in which case 2 atoms of oxygen. Okay, perchlorate is usually the one that has the most, okay, number of oxygen. Okay, this is when you are dealing with similar polyatomic ions. If you watch, the chlorite, the chlorate, and the perchlorate are similar in terms of their atomic composition. The only difference here is in terms of the atomicity of their oxygen atoms. All right, so the chlorite is usually the one with the least number of oxygen atom, in this case 2, and of course the chlorate has 3 oxygen atoms, and of course perchlorate has atomicity of 4 for oxygen. Nice. Okay, if you follow through what I just explained, you will see the trend in nitrite and nitrate, sulfite and sulfate. Okay, the the ion with the last syllable ite again usually has the least atomicity for oxygen. So you see the nitrite ion is NO2 minus, while the nitrate is NO3 minus. So you see the NO3 is more than the NO2 in terms of atomicity of oxygen. Okay, see that trend again where you have the sulfite SO3 2 minus and sulfate SO4 2 minus. So the sulfate has atomicity of 4 in terms of oxygen, while the ite has atomicity of 3 in terms of oxygen. Please pay attention to that. Then you also have the hydroxide ion, the ammonium ion, and many other examples of polyatomic ions that I didn't mention, the acetate, okay, and the hypochlorite, and all of those ones that were not listed. Okay, so now the first example of a compound they gave us to name, an ionic compound, is KNO3. Okay, so for us to of course name KNO3, we must pay attention to use the previous procedure we've always used when we name the type 1 and type 2 binary ionic compound. Okay, we must pay attention to where we have transition metals, of course, which show variable oxidation state, because that will help us to know the particular procedure of the 2 previous procedures we are going to use to name a particular ionic compound. Okay, nice. So here is KNO3. So if you pay attention to it, if you break them into their 2 ionic components, the cation and the anion, of course you have your potassium ion, okay, your K plus ion, and you also have your NO3 minus ion, which is the nitrate ion. As you can see it, NO3 is the nitrate ion, okay, and of course you have your potassium ion. The potassium ion has a +1 charge. Of course the nitrate ion has 1 minus charge. Of course this the magnitude of all these charges are usually not given, okay, but it's important we put it. All right, so here you have +1, and you also have what? Okay, -1 and +1. Beautiful. So even though the magnitude of these charges are not usually written, okay, but it's important to know the ratio is 1:1. And because of that, what you have is potassium nitrate. All right, potassium nitrate. So you just go ahead and mention the name of the cation, and of course mention the name of the anion. So what you have here is potassium nitrate. Simple. Now name the compound FeOH2. Here you begin to see that what you have here is a transition metal, unlike what you have here, which is an alkali metal in main group element. Okay, but here what you have is a transition metal. So you must first of all pay attention to know the oxidation state of this transition metal. All right, when you do that, the first thing we always tell our students is to break it up. Okay, you have your ion, okay, and you have your OH minus. Okay, so this is minus. All right, so you need to of course know the oxidation state of ion here. I've told you the first way to know is that this atomicity of the OH ion definitely is the charge on the what? On the ion. I have said this severally. So what you actually have, the oxidation state here is what? 2. Okay, here is 2 plus. Okay, of course here is 1 minus. Okay, so if you bring down 2 and of course bring down 1 and use the crisscross method, it gives you back to this, just to confirm that we are on the same page. Okay, so this is what you have. So we're on the same page. So therefore the name here is what? Ion. What is the charge of the ion? You put it in Roman numeral, places in parentheses. Okay, ion 2. What is this anion name known as? It's known as what? Hydroxide. OH minus. Hydroxide. So this is ion 2 hydroxide. Beautiful. All right. So, but if the compound contains both a polyatomic cation and a polyatomic anion, the only thing you do is simply use the names of the both ions. Okay. Example, a typical example of this statement is when you have NH4NO3. So you see we have a cation and the anion there, and all of these are polyatomic. Okay. They comprise of group of atoms, all right, that share an overall charge. So we balkanize it into NH4 plus and NO3 minus. When you break them, you see that you have 2 ions, okay, that are held together by these electrostatic attractive forces. All right. So simply, when you have polyatomic ion as a cation and a polyatomic ion as an anion, just name the 2 ions, and that gives you the name of the compound. So here, what do we name this compound? It is ammonium. Okay, ammonium nitrate. This is ammonium nitrate because this is ammonium, okay, and this is nitrate. So this is simply ammonium nitrate. That's also what we do if we must name K2CrO4, okay? And if you pay attention to this, you discover that what we have here is 2K plus, okay, 2 moles of potassium ion. And if we break this, you have that this is CrO4 2 minus. If you pay attention, this is a chromate ion, okay? This is chromate, okay? And potassium, of course, this is 2 moles of potassium ion. So it's very simple. You just name the two ions, okay? So what we have here ultimately is potassium chromate. Potassium chromate. That is the name of this particular compound. So the name of the first compound is potassium nitrate. This one is ion 2 hydroxide. This is ammonium nitrate, and this is potassium chlorate. I don't know if you got value in the video you just watched. Invite your friends, make comments, like our videos, and share it today so that you can get to those students who really need the knowledge we're dishing out, okay? We're here to make sure that your foundational aspect of chemistry, of course, is cleaned up so that the little issues that you have that have made chemistry look boring to you are all taken care of. So that we are also trying to make sure that chemistry becomes enjoyable for every one of our chemistry lovers and followers of Chem Class with Dr. Lota. Kindly share this video. In the next lecture, we're going to go into taking a micro look, a closer look into what is going on within, all right, the crystalline structures or crystalline lattices of ionic compounds. There we are going to begin to pay attention to the energetics of what is happening when ionic bonds are broken, and of course when they are made, the relationship between the breaking of ionic bond, the making of ionic bond, and the energy is involved, whether they absorb energy or they lose energy. We are talking about both exothermic and endothermic processes, and all of those energetics that goes with ionic bonding. Until the next time, stay safe, stay away from trouble, keep enjoying chemistry. Okay, I remain your humble friend, Dr. Lutan Lokwesi. Bye.